What's going on, everybody? Today we're going to be doing another product review. What we're going to be doing today is taking a look at this little micro paint shaker. Some of you might be laughing right off the bat because it's not that hard to shake these little bottles of airbrush paint. However, we do it all day long. It can become a pain, and then it is important on certain paints. I'll do a close-up on a couple of them. When you see that they've been sitting for a while, the different mixtures within the paint will separate. And if you don't get that mixed up good, one, you'll either have problems spraying through the airbrush, or two, if it's a paint one that's got other sparkles in it. If it's not mixed all the way, you're not going to get the results that you're looking for. So making sure that your paint is mixed good is very important. I saw this bad boy on the Amazon for $20 and I figured it'd be worth a shot. So today we're going to be unboxing this, and I've got 4 different things we're going to be doing to see if it works or if it was worth the $20 or if I wasted $20. I sprayed 4 spoons, all white. I know, really exciting. What we'll be doing is taking this metallic blue that's got like a gold in there, so it'll color shift from blue to gold. And if this paint isn't mixed, it's not going to color shift very well. You'll just be kind of spraying out some gold, or you'll be spraying out some blue. It's been sitting there for several weeks now. I haven't shaken it. I'm going to spray just out of the bottle, straight out of the bottle without shaking it on a spoon. So that'll be like our control. Here's what the paint looks like without being shaken. I will hand shake the paint. We'll spray that. We'll put it on the paint shaker for a minute or 2, let it shake, and we'll spray another spoon. And last but not least, we will be getting a clear bottle. I'll mix 2 colors together in there along with some water and see if it can shake it good enough to be sprayed. So I picked this up on my own. Nobody sent it to me or asked me to do a video on it, but I bought it for myself and figured you guys would be curious if it worked. If it does, I'll have it linked in the description so you can get one. Let's get it unboxed and see if it works. Got it powered on. I'm gonna move the camera and we'll see if it works or if it explodes. We're gonna start off with that gray that I'd showed earlier. We're gonna get that strapped on there, see if it works, and then we will spray those spoons with the other one. So it's got the little rubber straps, which seem pretty flexible. So I feel like you could fit a pretty big bottle in there. Okay. See if it okay. Nothing exploded. So it does shake. I do know in the directions, to be fair, it says to place it on a surface that these little suction cups can grip. So let me move this out of the way. And the directions do say to also, you can slightly wet the surface and that'll help the suction cups. So let's It did say on the reviews, people complained about the suction cups not quite being strong enough to hold it in place. My solution, I think, is going to be a piece of Velcro I can screw down to my paint table over there that just goes over top of it to hold it and keep it from skating all over the place. I will say this, it did shake that gray very well, or it at least appears to. So I'm confident enough that we should begin our testing. Okay, over on the paint table, we got a little bit better lighting. You can really see the separation in the paint in there. I haven't shaken it other than just moving it like this, but it's a gold and blue that mix together, so whenever it's sprayed, kind of reflects both colors. I think we all know what it's going to look like not shaken, but just for visual reference, I'm going to pour some in without shaking anything. And there's what we're left with. which is kind of obvious. All the gold has sunk to the bottom of the jar. But it is good to see this because next I'm going to hand shake it. And I think we're going to do it for 30 seconds. I'm just going to hand shake it for 30 seconds and we will spray that and see what that looks like. Try to get this where there ain't no glare. Okay, and I guess the big difference we're doing here is trying to see if there's a difference between me hand shaking it and the machine shaking it. And there is the handshake test, which is crazy that this color and that color both came out of the same tube of paint. And the only difference is 30 seconds of hand shaking. And I think for now I'm just going to kind of hold the machine, which the whole reason I bought this was because I wanted something to be shaking the paint while I'm like cleaning out the airbrush or I'm doing something else. So this is kind of defeats the purpose when I'm sitting here holding it, so don't rattle everywhere. But until I figure out a way to either keep it sucked down or something just to strap, because it kind of holds. But making a little strap thing, no big deal. For this video, I'm just going to hold it in place and we will do another 30-second timer. And there is the paint shaker test. So not a massive difference between the two, but I did notice a little bit whenever it was spraying through the brush, the paint shaker did feel like it was spraying thicker, meaning that the paint was mixed up a little bit better, not quite as watery. And I don't know if it's fair or a bad way of doing that where I shake the same tube beforehand like that. Maybe what I need to do to get a definite answer would be 2 tubes of the same paint that have been sitting for the same amount of time. But the idea is to see if it works. And it might just be hopeful thinking that I didn't waste $20, but the one on the right definitely looks more consistent as far as gold and blue all the way across. So I don't know if that was a fair test or not. You guys can let me know. In my opinion, 100% worth $20. But of course, we've got one more test we got to do here, and I'm going to move back over to the other table so we can see it in action a little bit better. And for our final test, we're going to take some iridescent blue or turquoise, some iridescent yellow, some paint reducer, and some opaque white. Put it all in the bottle and then put it on the shaker, and if the shaker, in my opinion, does a good job, we should end up with a pretty green. And I'm also going to put a little metal BB bearing inside there because that's what I probably will do if I'm mixing up a custom color, and that'll give it a little bit more to help mix the paint. I'm just kind of shooting from the hip on colors. No particular color that I'm trying to match, other than I know I want it to be a bright green. So we're going to go light on the blue here. And I guess with the bigger bottle here, testing to see how well the straps work. There. Alright, here we goes nothing. So that was pretty close to a minute worth of shaking. And from what I can see, it looks like it mixed it pretty well. That looks like a nice mixed up color there. Very watery, so If I was actually going to be spraying this, I'd want it to be thicker, which means we need more paint. I did go pretty heavy on the reducer. If we add some more paint in there. And I would like it to be a little more greenish, so we're going to add a couple more drops of blue. Okay, I think that's thick enough to spray. So I'm gonna go spray that last spoon really quick, and we'll see what it looks like. I definitely had a lot of reducer in there, so a little bit thinner than what I'd normally mix it at. However, we did end up with a pretty nice green. I can't get the camera to focus on it for some reason. I would just add a little bit more of the paint to it, or not as much reducer. And about to answer a question I know you all would be asking. Make sure this is in the right spot. Can it hold a big donkey, and will it explode? Final test. Ooh, that's not too good. I'm gonna not burn up the little motor that's in there. So that answers that question. So verdict is, if you're rocking big paint tubes like this one, it's not gonna work for you. If you're rocking small ones, I think it's going to work perfect. If you're mixing paints all the time, I'm super happy with it. I've also had a lot of people that have messaged me and said they've had some sort of medical reason or something wrong with their hands, so it hurts to use the airbrush or hurts to shake paint. If you're one of those people, this was 20 bucks at the time that I purchased it. I would 100% get one. If you were watching this video in 6 months to a year from now, or however long, and considering purchasing one of these, shoot me a comment and I will let you know if it's still working or if I end up having issues with it. Let me know what you guys think. $20 well spent or not. I'll have the link in the description below. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next video.